Okay. Okay, we're recording. This is Wrong Speed Record Chat number 25, and today we have Valentina. How you doing?
Oh, how's it going?
Yeah, good, good. Where are you?
At home.
At home, just in your.
Oh, finally, after being stranded in Italy for 4 months because of the pandemic.
Oh, really? Okay.
I got the Christmas, and I was only able to come back like at the beginning of April. So this is home. Yes, welcome.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that you're stranded, but there's worse places to be stranded, right?
Nice. It's nice where I'm from, and family and friends always like it was fantastic. I had
Yeah.
music. It was all good, all good. I'm not complaining, but I did miss this, you know.
No, well, I'm enormously jealous of that room. It looks magnificently tidy and very organised.
Yeah, organized chaos.
Yeah. Do you know where everything is?
Absolutely not. I tried so many, I organize things alphabetically by countries, by I mean, it's never ending, but I can never find anything. So letters, but then I don't know whoever, the Japanese or Tibetan player name or surname is. So it's a lost cause.
Right. Yeah.
Of it, it's always Christmas in here.
Yeah. When you look for one thing and then find something different, and then your whole evening changes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that we'll just quickly go on. I think we first met when you were playing in Econoline, the rock band, and it would have been around, give or take, around 2000.
Correct.
Yes. And so you were in Econoline with Ian. Ian ended up in Hey Colossus, and you ended up doing a whole wealth of things, which we'll talk about in a minute. But one of the things you did with Econoline was a peel session. And out of interest, do you have this book?
I don't. I do have the Masters of the Great. I have his biography.
Oh yeah. But this one lists all the peel sessions.
Oh, I see. I saw on the BBC archive that my name, and I remember the man having a chat with me. So it was very nice at the time. It was kind of a dream when I first moved to London to meet John Peel.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was fun.
So yeah, this was the 17th of December 2002.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Steve Morris on bass, Ian Scanlon, Piers on guitar, Valentina on drums.
This is too old.
Yeah.
Never watched this. Guys.
Yeah. But then obviously, I've got the hound. I've got the dog on my lap, and he wants some crisps. This is a stupid idea. But anyhow, so after that, you've gone on and done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of things. So the last time I saw you was in France, I think. We played the festival that Tomaga played.
Okay, yeah. We did a few.
It was near Paris somewhere, and I can't remember the name of the festival.
Yes, it was in a farm or something. I remember ditching the accommodation kindly offered by the promoters, and horrible snob, and we went to the hotel in town.
Yes, you did. But the night before, we'd played and had to sleep in a squat. So when we got there, it was luxury. When you got there, it probably.
Guys, I can't.
Yeah. Oh.
Not even pretending. No, I'm pretentious. I could do that.
Yeah.
Not for me. But it was fun. I remember having a beer with Rhys and you guys. Great day, great memories.
Yeah, it's always nice to bump into people in that way, like.
Absolutely. It's like fantastic. I mean, they were like so long, guys. I've been knowing you guys for so long. It's part of the heritage. It's part of.
Well, yeah, you're on one of the records. Yeah.
Colossus record, or like spoken words about, I don't know, Berlusconi or some political crap that I was just
Yeah.
swearing at the right way party. Yeah, for sure. That was fun. I remember that.
So yeah, so this I just need to say that like everyone was massively gutted about Tom.
Yeah, I mean,
So you know, I actually think about him quite a lot. So I think it's yeah.
well, came here.
I know. So I'm really sorry for everything, but yeah. Anyhow, I just sort of mentioned that I didn't want it to go unsaid. That I think about him quite a lot for some reason. I think he's a lovely bloke.
Such a shit show. It took nearly everything, you know, from me. So
Yeah.
Insanely tragic. So
Yeah. So yeah. So great loss. Very sorry about that. But other things you've done, like it's insane the list of things you've been doing. As like I noticed that you played with Jandek.
yes, that was amazing. Actually, he's a gentleman.
Yeah, I didn't know.
It was fun. Yeah, it was really great.
Yeah.
Really, London show a few years back. I had great time, you know, and he was digging the style, let me absolutely free to do whatever.
Yeah.
It was a remarkable night. It was quite something, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, and his legacy speaks for itself, for himself. But it's kind of like, wow, it was fun. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, like totally radical. Like yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I was just looking it all up today. And Bat for Lashes, and also Gruff Rhys from Super Furry Animals.
Yeah, that's correct. I played both for Gruff solo stuff and for his his pop band Neon Neon. I did a few shows with them. Yeah, and also Bat for Lashes was part of like my touring duties in a way, and that was big, like it was so much fun. We went all over like South America with like private jet supporting Coldplay. It was fun, you know.
Yeah, well, you're one of those. To me, you're one of those people that I watch from afar, like I'm supporting a football team, because I sort of see you now, like because I saw the whole Coldplay thing, like, and I saw the some pictures, and I was like, I felt like I was supporting on the sidelines for someone I sort of, know a little bit or whatever, and I was like, holy crap, look, what's happening there.
You know, the massive, like the biggest stadium in the world. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Sure.
Absolutely insane. Because and then just to cover it, may as well cover it all. You did the can thing as well.
Yeah, that was like really great. With Malcolm Mooney and with Debbie, Thurston Moore. I mean, the whole lineup was quite stellar, really.
Yeah.
I got an email from Thurston saying like, Charles just hint that you might be able to step in for Jackie or something, and I thought it was a joke. I really thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
Like, okay. And then the next thing you know, we did this Barbican thing, and it was loads of fun.
Yeah.
And we did Monster Movie, so
right.
It was that challenging on a drumming duty, so I could even relax with Steve Shelley. It was much fun.
I think Steve Shelley's Steve Shelley's one of those drummers that has a very distinctive style, right?
Yeah, distinct sound. Yes.
You can always there's a few drummers where you hear them and you know, okay, yeah, that's that person.
Absolutely.
I think, yeah, and he's one of them. Like you can hear him on the Sonic Youth records. He has that sort of sound, doesn't he? What's he doing to make that sound?
I mean, it's just it's very specific. Also, the way he holds, he holds the beat. I was just looking at him. I mean, of course, I know Sonic Youth and I know him, but yeah, it's just very specific. It's just his style. Everyone tells a story when they play drums, whatever. He's one of the one that tells a story. Just so he's got his own way with the kit. It's very distinctive. It's great.
Yeah. So I was looking at your Baker's Dozen list that you did for the Quietus.
That was fun.
And like you picked some absolutely fantastic records. Like, so I like this one. Like,
Really.
yeah. Talk to me about this. Like, this is such a good record. Like,
I mean, this is like, I have it. I have the box set, like that they did it. Is that the same thing?
yeah, like a yeah, like a triple LP thing.
Yes, with the score. I
Yeah.
mean, I think this is like for every drama is like a mecca because I don't know. I mean, it's just got that way of evolving. It's got everything from technique to you go from technique to meditation. So it's from it's from intellectual to spiritual.
Yeah.
I saw the piece a few times live, and every time I just like vibe out. It's just incredible.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
every time the way they're sequencing, everything sequencing out, it's just something that it's always giving. It's always ever evolving. You never get like tired of this piece. And
No.
there's not records like this, not many pieces like this. Because I mean, Steve Reich is incredible, and the way that he perpetuate this even with the piano or music for 18 musicians. But I think drumming, I don't know, is the tone, is the bongos. I'm a massive bongo fan. So
Right. Okay.
to me, it's just it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's
It,
just
it, it, it's like and there's other instruments that he uses rhythmically, like almost. Because for me, like I'm like a very rudimental bass player, but I consider myself part of the drums
yes.
rather than a clever bass player. So that's how I do it.
Wait to see it.
And when you listen to this, it's the same. Like the other instruments are being used rhythmically.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Yeah. So when they did it live, was there a conductor?
No, they would actually know the piece by heart, and just like yes.
Because
it was a South Bank.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of these.
Yeah.
It's a miracle, it's just one of these gifts, I think.
Yeah. Because when you listen to it, like the rhythms, they sort of cross over and start at. It's so clever.
I know.
Like I would need to be conducted, I think. Yeah.
Understand.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know, they might know it inside out, or they might just do it so many times that they just, they know how it works.
Yeah. Have you ever done any of those big, like?
In C, Terry Riley in C.
Oh, you've done that.
At vibraphone duty, and that was partly challenging. And I was even there. I had like a score, but I was trying, as much as I could to memorize it and to just follow the vibe. Sometimes it's just like you have like subtitles on a fucking movie.
Yeah.
The scores. So I love that piece. In the past we used to listen to that and love that so much that we had a proper ensemble doing it. We did it at the Barbican, in fact.
Oh, cool.
We had this ensemble called School of Hypnosis, and it was like so many of us, and me and Tom were on vibraphone.
Cool.
So that would be the piece that is like the closest thing that I've done to this.
Yeah. Yeah, can with I don't really know how it works with drums and music, but can you read it?
Yeah, you can like rhythm scores.
But you can, yeah. So did you train?
I did. I studied for a bit. I am not the biggest, the best reader, and I don't. For what I do, I never got into situation where I need it, but if I had to, I could definitely put my head around it and go back to it.
Yeah.
I'm not even good at maths. That's not, that's my weakest point, and it would be if I had to perform drumming, Steve Reich, please. But that has been always, but I can read ish.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah. It's funny you say about the counting thing, like because Rhys, who drums for us, like sometimes you need to know that there's going to be 16 bars of something or something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So in your head, you're going, okay, yeah, we're kind of part way there. But for him, he just like feels it. And he just does this funny little movement up here, and then everyone changes.
Really well. I know Rhys drumming really well. So it's a natural, you know? It doesn't need to count.
Yeah. I've always liked it. The feel of his drumming has been brilliant. And
It's
and
great.
it's kind of, yeah, what I like about it is it's the opposite of a heavy drummer.
Yeah, it's not macho at all. It's not Gravity Blast. Rhys is a really great drummer.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about some records, shall we? Is that okay? Yeah. So I have a list of records here. We'll work it out. So we're going to start from the top, and it's a record from your favorite record shop. Or do you have a favorite record shop?
That's a really weird one. I mean, it's always exotic when you go abroad, when you go out of Europe. To me, like whenever you are like in America, for example, on tour, you always find this like insane record shop but it's also more about, you know, there anyway, it's more about the selection. You know, some title, for example, for jazz, by jazz like this, it's amazing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I don't know. I don't remember the name of the. I won't remember this particular one in Pittsburgh. It's just insane. I think it was Jamie's or something, like really basic name. I will. I always said I would check it out when I go back there.
Yeah.
Really, you can find just like pretty much everything that you ever dreamt of. It could be even a little unsettling.
Yeah.
In Europe is easier for me because I know most. I mean, because we've been on tour so much, and you end up. I mean, with Tomaga, we took like 100 gigs. You end up doing your own like distribution net, you know. So we used to have like, I don't know, on 20 dates we used to get like 10 records to each record store. So you get to know the owner, you get to know them, and they. That's some amazing one, you know. I like I don't know, from super flyer like Le Souffle Continu in Paris, great shop. London is a funny one for me. I know most record shop because I've been here so long, obviously, and I also know lots of people that work in a record shop. But lately, my favorite in the city have been like maybe Al Alt Record is kind of an obscure one in Finchley.
All right, don't know it. Cool. Yeah.
Because it's always got like really weird, like just in stuff, and the guy is really not pretentious at all. He keep his price fair, and he's really sweet, whatever.
Yeah.
Atlantis, I just discovered a few weeks back in Hackney Central.
Okay.
I didn't know this one because it used to be called Pacific Cafe.
All right, no, I don't know it.
I had some insane stuff the other day, from like Ornette Coleman test pressing to like all the Charles Goulden left his own collection. So he had like For a Reason, Lifetones test pressing and all of that. And I got myself a few beautiful Japanese.
What's that? What is that you've got there?
This is one of the latest purchases actually. It was like the quartet. I mean, this is one of my favorite John Coltrane one, the quartet one.
Yeah.
And he had a beautiful Japanese edition. So see, this kind of like thing is like, it's not really easy to get hold in London for not like extortion prices. So this kind of stuff in Tokyo or in America is better. Obviously, also all the US press are amazing.
Yeah, like do you have a are you worried about the pressings? Like that's a Japanese one, right? I mean, does it sound better or?
I mean, it's more of an emotional thing. Like for some of my favorite records, I'm not ashamed to admit that I do have the original mono press. But you know, I don't really. I'm not. you know, I'm not mad about it, but it's just more about like being the year that that was like out, and the whole legacy that goes with the piece. It's just a
Yeah.
silly thing. I think they it depends, like, I don't know, stuff like one of the best record in the world, like a Love Supreme, for example. It's got so many presses, and
Yeah.
some of them are really bad, really, really bad. So if you don't get like only recently they redid it on Impulse, really like heavy duty, you know, something like that. You can't possibly have it if you want it on vinyl. You have to go for a decent pressing, I think. You
Right,
know,
right, yeah, yeah.
but I do not own that on the mono on the original. So, you know, that's something to look for, something for my wedding list. If I
Oh
ever,
yeah, okay. I mentioned in a previous one actually that I got married in the year 2000, so 21 years ago, and the only present I remember is a Captain Beefheart record.
oh, nice.
There's not we could have got other things. Maybe we got kettles and toasters and all that stuff.
It was very, very good.
But the only thing I remember is so yeah. When if you're going to make out a wedding list,
Oh, they will have like my disco want list or something
yeah,
silly.
there you go. So,
Bad, really.
would you say jazz is your main musical love?
That's a hard question. I mean, this is music is music, no?
But
It's
yeah, because well, okay. The reason I ask is that I really like um, the, the the jazz stuff I like.
mhm,
I'm not like I know a bit, but I'm not very wise on jazz. But I
mhm.
really like um,
He's the best drummer in the world.
I really like the jazz like groups or whatever when they're led by the drummer.
I mean, Elvin Jones is just, what can we say, you know?
Yeah, and look how cool he is.
I mean, don't even start on the picture. Every single one of them is just like, it's not even like, what's the point of any photo shoot? Yeah, don't. It's just, I know. It's insane.
Yeah. So do you like when it comes to like it's an interesting world to me when they're led by the different musicians and then you know so this one in particular I just love because of that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, Elvin Jones, as well as like Art Blakey for me, or like
Right.
Milford Brave in a kind of different way. I say that so many times, but they are storyteller. They're not just they're not just playing the drums or like going and following, or it's not, they're telling stories, and they would always stick out, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not about being, you know, this is how good I am, and listen to me out loud, or like how technically great, because that really put me off, actually,
Right.
drums itself. I've never been a fan of like testosterone, of course, but like all this macho thing, it's
Mm.
just that doesn't reach me in any way. And
No.
drums is very misregarded in this sense, because you know sometimes it's you know the attributes is just like power and like showing off and like loudness, and it can be really there's a total like other side to it, you know.
Yeah. I think like your experiences of playing um like with other people as well can teach you that because for me I did this isn't necessarily a drum thing but it is a volume thing. I did this
Yeah.
uh, Rhys Chatham did one of those like 100 guitar things.
Guitars, little guitar player.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I played the bass on it and there was like 100 guitars and it was in like some Liverpool cathedral,
Amazing.
right?
Oh,
And it was
yeah.
really good. But the thing that I learned from it was that we could all play really, really, really quiet. Yet because there was 100 of us all playing slightly different notes and whatever else, it sounded really, really loud.
Amazing.
So it was like all the tones were hit, and it was a real lesson for me.
Yeah.
So I think I wonder if when you go off and you work with whoever you work with, Lacan Project or whoever else, even Jandek or whatever, you must learn so much each time you do something.
Every time, because you can conceive your performance like as a dialogue, and then is always like so open up that you have to listen to what you've been told,
Yeah,
and
it's
it's
all.
a lesson in squid like just put your ego aside, because it's not about the drums. If you're not like having a solo or whatever, it's just what needs to work is what's together. You know, it has to be like big. The sum of it has to be bigger than the parts of itself. So
Yeah,
is always is ever changing, and this is what stimulates me, and this is why I'm like sort of like hyperactive, and I always look for something else and
yeah,
project. This is just a way to express yourself and understand what's needed, you know. And it's beautiful, you know, seeking the right frequency, seeking when you can tell something, when you have the space, when you have to shut up. It's also important, you know, obviously to treasure the silence, and that you learn with, you know, when you challenge yourself and push your limits and you're out of your comfort zone. And if you just play with your four mates, that's fantastic, but they kind of know the way you interact. While if you're just like with someone completely new,
yeah,
then it's when, you know, you need to pace your energy, you know.
yeah. I think
I
I agree.
personally, it works for me with music. It doesn't work for me. I wish I was like that as I am with the drums with words or something. You know, it's kind of, you need to exercise that. So it takes time. It takes
Mm.
experience and time, I think, and challenge. You know, just push yourself.
Yeah, no, that's. I think it's really important to expand yourself musically, especially like yourself. The amount you do, and the amount of fascinating things you do, and the more you do, the more you end up doing, right? You know, it's true though, isn't it? You end up and the busier you are, you know, you just keep being more busy and more busy. It's more some
Yeah, it
like
leads up to other things, and of
yeah,
course, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. Hit me with a record with memories or a thought about that.
I mean, I've just around a few titles. That's fun. Um, I don't know, like this one is a beautiful like library record that I found last year in Cairo, in Egypt.
Oh, sweet.
And so that was really weird for me to find like the Can record like in this bazaar sort of thing, because we were like just browsing, and I think we stopped there because we saw this huge beautiful poster, like Egyptian poster of King Kong or something like really weird. And so I just started browsing on records, and I found this, you know, Rizzotto. This is actually really, really amazing.
Right.
Uh,
Ooh.
so that obviously brings back to particularly like just before I was there like playing a show in Egypt in December before the pandemic.
So 2019.
Yeah, so
Mm,
that's where I picked this up.
awesome. Who are you playing? Who are you playing with in Egypt?
La Fanda, fantastic. She's like an amazing performer and singer.
Hmm.
I think she has some sort of Egyptian heritage. Or um, I've been doing. I had done a record with her with Nat and Cross and Theo Cross, the brothers, like trombone and tuba player.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. No.
Yeah, I mean, it's very orchestral
Right.
sort of thing, so it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of I was happy to go there. I mean,
Oh, I bet you were.
yeah, destination, yeah.
Yeah.
So that record reminds me of that day in Cairo. It's really
Yeah.
cool. It's fun. But you know, to be honest, every single this is like a diary to me, because this is like what I do like full time, and I'm always around, and I would always pick a record, or we'd always, you know, they know we like the objects or whatever, so they will always take us to the record store and stuff. So I must say I'm not very good at knowing where things are, but if you pick one, I would every single one would have a memory, you know.
Yeah.
um I don't know. I mean, like really weird stuff. I just got really weird. Oh, this one was like it's one of my favorite records ever, and this is an original press.
Oh,
Dorothy Ashby.
right. Cool.
She's a art player, and yeah, this was funny because I was on in the state. I think I grabbed this in Kansas City, and I nearly had an argument or a fight with the singer of my band at the time because she's like she couldn't believe it. I think I went for like the letter D. It was on letter D, so not on Ashby, which would have been her surname or whatever. Anyway, I
Yeah.
picked it up and it was like $6, and this is like an insane.
Mm. Did you say? Sorry, did you say Kansas City?
Yeah.
So a charity shop.
No. In the actual city in Kansas.
Oh, Kansas. Sorry,
Yeah, and during the American tour that we did. Yeah, this is like
I
$6.
misheard you. Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
condition not great, but it's like insane. You know,
Yeah,
we, we can't pick this anywhere else, basically. So this is was like a funny memory that like
yeah. Was that a Bat for Lashes tour or?
no. It was like something else that I was doing with actually Kathy Lucas from Vanishing Twin.
Oh yeah.
She's the leader of the band that I'm now, and we had an amazing time together because we had the chance to to tour the states and with a big band that would like we would like sleep over this big thing, and every day would be like just park in some sort of Walmart or whatever and go for record shopping. Every day would be a different city, and we purchased one of these like um, uh, turntable on the bus
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
stuff, and we ended up with an insane amount of records.
And
Those
then
are the really dangerous for me, like Japan or the States, because you can't find. It's just all the records that, oh, even hip hop here is. I mean, there's some amazing like British hip hop, but for American hip hop, of course, it's right there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, on that note, then, seeing as you've mentioned that, one of the ways that I discover records is by buying hip hop records and then looking into the samples. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I sometimes work backwards. I'll have a Beastie Boys record, for instance, in this case.
Hey?
So this was sampled on Paul's Boutique.
Yeah.
And do you know this record here?
Of course I do.
Of course you do. But like that's sometimes how I discover records is by going the other way.
That's great about sample, no? If you get into J Dilla, you'll have a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, I have done. I don't. Yeah, I have done. My bank account hasn't, but yeah. Again, a band led by the drummer, right?
It is one. I mean, he's for funk stuff. He's the master.
Yeah.
Always been someone like wow, really great.
Yeah. It's really good, and it's actually arranged and conducted by Bob James. I don't know if you have any of the Bob James albums.
Yeah, it's broken. Is that the one? It's broken.
Yeah, like Bob James 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah.
That's the one. I mean, it's good stuff. It's funk stuff.
Yeah, it's funk stuff. Yeah, but also with the jazz as well. It's just for me, it's a good way of. Yeah, it's. Ultimately, it doesn't matter how you find the records, right?
No, absolutely.
Yeah. There's no cheating. So I've got on my list of things, I've got bargain find. I don't know if you can dig up a bargain find, other than the one you just showed, of course.
I was sick. I have like weird, really amazing stuff, like in Italy. Again, I used to be a big library music fan, and so this kind of stuff, like Armando Trovaioli with Monica Vitti. I mean, this was like €1 or something, a very expensive record. But I have a lot of original like library stuff from Cometa or Cam or RCA because I was few years back I had the chance to go like warehouse where people getting rid. I mean, my generation is slightly late to all the real, the real bargain. People that are like real collection are the ones that like picked it in the early '80s or whatever, and just kept it because then like with the advent of the CD, lots of people got rid, So whoever didn't do that move, I think that's. But I don't really care much about. I got that, or like I'm not
No.
very competitive. If someone comes with me in a record shop and really want that, it's like it's fine. There's always so much shit, you know. I'm not like that. I'm not that
No,
bullshit.
but you were pleased to get that previous record.
I mean, if I find something that is like amazing,
Yeah.
that or like the record of your lifetime, that's incredible, you know.
Yeah.
And that have a bit of a laugh, like I hate you or whatever. But of course, if someone really wants it, I mean, of course, there's so much things out there to bring you joy.
Yeah.
You can't be passionate about an object, otherwise you'll be less free than than this. This is not freedom.
You're
Rest
not.
of the house.
Yeah, you're not moving, are you?
No,
Um,
not
where
really.
out of interest, where in Italy were you from?
I'm from southern Italy.
Southern Italy.
Yeah.
Cool. And have you got? I've never really been. I've been to Bari. It's about it.
Record too, yes.
So yeah, were the record shops in Southern Italy?
It's not great,
No.
unfortunately. No. Few friends have record shops there, but in the city where I'm from, which is Bari, it's not great.
Right. Yeah. That's actually Bari's the one place I've been. Yeah. The previous band I did, we played a gig there. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it
it's
was.
not the best place to buy a record.
Yeah. 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 It was actually our experience of playing in Bari was going on stage at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was we were like young and English, so you can imagine the state of us. It was a nightmare. Yeah, but lovely place. Bought on tour, record bought on tour.
I mean, as I said,
Yeah,
the hundreds. Well,
everyone.
I'm really like we kind of like not. I'm not saying. Well, I would say monothematic or boring even. That's what we like. So we would go to a nice place to eat, and then maybe if we have time before soundcheck on the next day, we would just go straight to record shops
Mm,
and either like now a bit less. Luckily, I don't have to hand my records to the record shop because there's like this such thing like distributors that
yeah,
help your life. But trades, that's really amazing. It's fun, I
yeah,
remember a few years back when I started trading and I have credit from the record store. It's like it's so I felt so happy, it's like really wow. You can pick whatever you want. It's like every time it's so it's fun.
yeah. Yeah. It heartens me to hear that there's other people out there that go to every single record shop in every single town and city that they go to.
I mean that's a bit much, isn't it?
It makes me happy.
But it's fun, And if you go
Yeah,
to Japan or whatever, it's endless. You need like another lifetime, right?
yeah. Oh, I've never been to Japan. Would love to go.
Days if you're really into records, like it's endless.
God damn, yeah. Actually, here's another record that you spoke about in the Quietus piece that I really like, and it's the Feedback record.
It's
I
just
do not have an original.
like more than a grand.
Yeah. But yeah, well, talk to me about this if
I mean, that's everything il gruppo di improvvisazione di nuova consonanza, which was like led by Ennio Morricone.
mm,
What can you say? Like the drums, the drum sound.
yeah,
It's just something else, I actually this is like kind of like the most accessible in a kind of like sample. You could sample every single bar of that record,
yeah,
and it's just like. But loads of stuff is more like led into like a free jazz thing, and you have like it's just phenomenal. You have like a Gistomacchi in there, like playing trumpet or whatever. You have like Ennio Morricone. It's just like it's just like a champion league there. You
yeah,
have like it's all killers, no fillers.
yeah. It's really exciting. Listen, and it's another one that I got through. I think it was like that Gaslight Killer chap. I watched
Oh,
him.
I see.
Do you
Sure,
know that
and that's
fella?
he got it from Malcolm because Malcolm Cato he has an original copy of that actually, and
Right.
he's absolutely obsessed by that sound. And that's the sound you would have if if you want that sound, you would have to head to his studio, Quartermass, because it could just get you a sound like that if you can put
Right.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that is essential, I would say.
I agree.
Or funk music or whatever you want to call it, it's just like groovy. It's just like it's fantastic.
Yeah, and it's not, and in a lot of ways, it's not far off. It's not far off a band like that.
I mean, you could tell like yeah. I mean, I can see. Of course, if you would like one, you would like the other one because the narrative is not far off.
Yeah.
It's the palette, the sonic palette is so refined in the best possible way, and I mean, yeah, I would argue maybe that the musicianship is slightly different on a different level
Yeah.
but the vibe is completely you would dig both.
Mm.
I mean, those are essentials in every household,
Yeah, I think
in
so.
and those.
Yeah, I think so. Um, hit me with or tell me about a record that people wouldn't think that you would like.
Oh my god, I mean, I don't know. I love Pet Shop Boys.
Okay.
um, I dig a lot of like experimental hip hop, but then like Death Grip, maybe they would think it's too.
You've got that on vinyl. Do you know how much that's worth?
I have this on cassette as well because
Yeah.
that basically we got given the vinyl and the cassette at his show. Like you had the merch stand, and it
Yeah.
was phenomenal. Yeah, this is a great record.
Yeah, no, I've got that record as well. Then I looked it up, and it's like £500.
Oh, I didn't know this, to be
Yeah,
honest.
so put it in a plastic sleeve.
I only had it here because I was funny today. This was my mood today, and so I thought maybe people don't think I'm into hip hop, but I don't know. I do. I am. I
Yeah.
listen to. I mean, mostly everything. Maybe they would think that I'm not into 80s, but I do like, all the nostalgia and, obviously
Yeah.
Somerville or Jimmy Somerville and, as I said, the Pet Shop Boys. Sometimes people are like, really? Because, of the avant-garde or whatever. But
Yeah. Like, well, to be honest, Illmatic by Nas is another record that everyone should own.
I love that one so much. In
Yeah.
fact, I got the original the other day because I thought I want that one. That's the one that there's a few hip hop record that I really want to. And I was like, I pulled the other day Death Grip because I just thought the cover was like kind of similar. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So they had the same vibe, and I'm obsessed with bases anyway. I love those covers.
Yeah. What other hip hop records are you looking to get originals of?
This one will be good. I own a couple of like ship presses of this. This is a great. Great. Well, I love Donuts. I love Dilla.
Yeah.
I love MF Doom. We got the master engineer that's doing my latest album with Vanishing Twin is a guy that did all the MF Doom.
Wow.
Villain, that is absolutely Matt Villain is absolutely amazing. I would grab, probably an original of that. I have that on cassette as well.
Yeah, I think it's been reissued, Mad Villain.
So many times, I guess.
Yeah.
And now they like all the. I mean, it was fantastic to me. I loved everything about MF Doom.
Yeah. I would agree. Again.
I'm not mad about the OG. I mean, I would when I downsize my collection, I would probably, I could give like 10 titles and get an original one of a record that I really think is. It will happen at some point. I'm trying. I just never have time.
Yeah. No, that's interesting because I've got records I don't listen to, and I've got records I want, but I can't seem to bring myself to get rid of the records I don't listen to.
That's something that like sooner or later you really should. There's always more.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's advice. I'll take that advice.
Yeah, you should. It's healthy. There's always new amazing stuff.
Yeah. So you've got a new Vanishing Twin album coming. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I mean, this is like the latest thing that we be busy on. Like it will be out, I think, in October, mid October,
Okay.
because like the time with pressing plant is crazy now.
Yeah.
So, but I have other few things, like very exciting things. I have CZN one, which is my duo,
Yeah.
percussive duo. This it just came out with trilogy tapes, a proper album. We're waiting for copies, and there will be another single with Offen, the German label Offen.
Cool.
So I'm really chuffed with that because with that like percussive, it's just like acoustic techno in a way.
I,
But I just
yeah.
I
I have it.
love
I have got the Leon sent it to me actually because
oh,
Leon.
absolutely. I had to get it. Like Leon is doing an incredible job. He's a fantastic engineer, and he's working with me. We're working together more and more because it's just like so good. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I mean, we just hit the best to my knowledge, like two of the best dance label or like trendy label for that project, which is Trilogy Tapes and Octans. So I'm very pleased with that. And then another thing that I'm working on is like an experimental dub project called Holly Tongue
Okay.
with Al Watson, Dead Boy. He has this label called True,
Hmm.
and the first EP went like snap. I think I don't even have a copy. If I have a copy, I'm lucky because I thought, you know, when you think like, oh, I'll get another one or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, people like dub people are like a sect, like are
Yeah.
just waiting for something to happen. So we have like another two EPs coming
Cool.
out. One in August and another one next year. But that's very very interesting to me. It's like
Yes.
using that sort of like Optimo. It's really
Yeah. He does good stuff.
it's incredible for the stuff, you know, for what he knows what he's doing, you know.
Yeah. He ran that. Is it New Atlantis? That label for a while.
Yeah, that's that. And then I think now it's like Trul and Amada, which is the offspin that is putting the Holy Tongue. And
Yeah.
then I have a cassette that I'm really excited about, which is because I did one during the pandemic, and now I'm into like boutique sort of editions, so 70 or 80s, and each cassette is different and hand stamped and numbered. And this is like my new project, like really weird Abitagalli. And the first cassette went just like in a couple of days. So we put in another one, I think next month, and that's beautiful.
Recorded at home or in the
We
studio?
did it in Italy,
Oh, right, cool.
so record it on mainly on an iPhone and master the Abbey Road as you do.
Of
Um,
course.
yeah, exactly. And then that's really really special for me. I mean, the first one was like because I found in a flea market a 1944 little book. So we got every single page. It was like yoga exercise from the 40s.
Hmm.
And so each cassette was one exercise and then hand stamped and numbered. And the next one is like a big surprise, but I'm going to put it out like I think those Bandcamp Friday thing,
Yeah.
like a super limited thing. And then yeah, I'm working on other project constantly, also on my solo, another solo album, and I have a live at Auto Cafe that will be out with Bloom editions, which I'm really really
Sweet.
excited about because you know it's like from Julius Eastman to Alvin Lucia, like Alvin Curran, and then yours truly. So it's like wow, that's a big big honor, you know,
Yeah.
for us.
Mm.
So yeah, lots of things.
And so, are you missing touring, playing live?
Not 1 minute. I'm now fine. I had a trauma at the beginning because they in last March I didn't take it very well uh, because they just you know it was just everything was crashing and they canceled something like 60 shows for us and we just got the visa. It was very stressing. But now I don't know. I think life is back and I'm happy where I am and we're doing so much like beautiful music, remote event. I have this Rewire festival and plus, you know, there's so much thing going on. I It's good to be in one place so
Yeah.
you can actually listen to this. Otherwise, it's just silly, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. I think that is a good moment to call it a night.
Great.
You feel good with that? Yeah.
You?
Thanks a lot for giving the time to talk, though. It was awesome.
Not a problem. There's a nice thing going on about chatting. I just that people like to see. It's not boring to listen to what they have to say. Maybe.
No, it's not boring at all. And especially when it's someone who's like I say, if you're on the sideline supporting someone and you're watching them off doing their thing, it's really interesting to hear them talk. It's really, really awesome. Yeah.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this.
So let's,
in real life, right?
yes. No, no, it would be good. It would be good to meet up again at some point. Definitely.
Next show.
Yeah. So we'll wave goodbye and I'll press stop. Okay. Bye-bye.